Well, tonight we begin with storm watch. Steady downpours in many places throughout the Southland today, enough to get the LA River there flowing. Santa Barbara and Ventura got almost 2 inches of rain, but today was definitely no storm of the season.
A live look at downtown LA tonight. It's clear, beautiful. So what did happen to the monster storm we've talked about all week?
Well, the atmospheric river moisture suddenly swung way to the north of us today, but overnight it's supposed to turn south and finally take a direct shot at all of us here with some very heavy rain. The burn areas should be on alert.
Let's begin with KCAL9 meteorologist Evelyn Taft tracking the storm that is still out there tonight. Evelyn.
Allison, Jeff, exactly what you guys said. Really, that atmospheric river of moisture swung to the north. So we got most of the rain to the north. We did get some rain through the basin, but for those of us in Orange County and the IE, some of us managed to stay dry throughout the day. But also, as you mentioned, we don't want to let our guard down because looks like that river of moisture is going to sag a little bit tomorrow, and most of the basin and southward will get hit with that rain. We could expect to see an additional 4 to 6 inches of rain in the foothills, 2 to 4 inches in the lower elevations, and flash flood watches in effect. So again, cannot let our guard down. We're still not done with this quite yet. As we get a look at the rain, you'll see a few showers over the Newhall Pass, over the LA County mountains, and over parts of the IE in the mountains. But generally speaking, we are mostly dry with just a few stray showers. Most of the organized rain sitting over Santa Barbara County, the Santa Barbara County mountains as we head into the Tehachapis, Cuyama right there, Frazier Park looking at a little bit of rain as you make your way along the I-5 corridor just through the Ventura County mountains, and the Tehachapis getting hit with some pretty steady rainfall as well. Again, things are going to start to change as we head into tomorrow. A few showers over Wrightwood. Snow levels still very high at 9,000 feet, so really snow is not a part of the equation, but thunderstorms could be because we're looking at a cold front that's going to meet up with that river of atmospheric moisture, and the combination of the two making for the chance of thunderstorms. So we're going to have more coming up on what we can expect over the next couple of days in your neighborhood. But for now, we'll send it back to you.
All right, Evelyn, thank you. In the meantime, 30,000 people are evacuated tonight from the Montecito burn areas. There's still a potential of 10 inches of rain.
Extra fire crews and emergency responders are on standby right now. KCAL9's Randy Pace shows you the current situation.
Everyone in this area is being ordered to evacuate, and the reason is simple. If you could see through this mist to the mountains above, you would see they are completely bare. Large rocks and bare earth. Now take a look at Romero Creek and the color. You can see that it is a dark brown color. A lot of mud is coming off the mountain, and the concern is if too much rain comes down, debris will follow.
In downtown Montecito today, street flooding is making it difficult for cars to get through. And Olive Mill Road, where the January mud flows did tremendous damage, has a steady stream of water flowing downhill. The view from the bridge over Montecito Creek shows how fast the water is flowing, making it treacherous for anyone who gets too close. Santa Barbara County Fire spokesman Mike Eliason.
It only takes 6 inches of water to knock you down, and so we really want to keep people away from these fast-moving creeks so they don't get swept up in this fast-moving water.
On Olive Mill Road, mud came right to the doorstep of Mark Vance's home, and the house next door was severely damaged. Yesterday, he told us he plans to stay despite the mandatory evacuation orders. We stopped by today to see how it went last night.
We stayed up real late, just to see, and got out our popcorn and but everything went easy, so we went to sleep after a while.
And as for tonight?
Definitely staying. Yeah, we'll ride it out. We're hopefully going to be watching the mud go by instead of feeling it.
Many others are not. They are obeying the evacuation orders. And to be clear, Santa Barbara County wants everyone to know you're on your own if you stay, but it is extremely important to leave. In Montecito, Randy Pace, KCAL9 News.
An urban search and rescue team from Orange County is in Montecito right now, just in case they are needed. They're rolled out of Irvine this morning.
The 30 members of the team come from various fire departments in Orange County. They're also bringing a special member of the team, Sadie, a search and rescue dog.
Well, all this rain may have helped a massive pine tree crash down on a home in Studio City.
It fell across the 4200 block of Bluebell Avenue, and KCAL9's Peter Dowd is live in Studio City tonight, where they now have a very big job to get the street back open tonight. Peter.
Very big job indeed, Jeff and Elsa. Right now you can see those city crews are out here cleaning up the mess of that pine tree that came crashing down here this afternoon. They basically saw this pine tree to different parts and now they've placed it onto the side of the road. They say that tomorrow they will come and pick up the remainder of this tree. But just look how massive this is. This tree was 100 feet long. It took decades to grow and only seconds to come tumbling down this afternoon during the rainstorm. The family who lives at this home across the street, they got the top of this tree after it came toppling right onto their fence, shattering the fence and also their cars. So there's a lot of damage here. But luckily, incredibly, no one was injured, even though there were people actually walking around and came within feet of actually getting hit. So here's how it looked from Sky 9 earlier this afternoon. You could just see how big that tree was. Again, this is a 70-year-old pine tree. It's been here for a very long time, but neighbors suspected something might happen since it began to tilt recently, and today it finally happened. Here's what the homeowner had to say.
This tree was like this, okay, and there wasn't any wind. It took a little bit of rain to loosen up that dirt, and that tree fell in the middle of the day. And if you look at these are neighbors that walk up and down this street all the time. Thank God nobody was hurt.
And back out here live, you could see again that the cleanup's still underway. The heavy machinery out here in the 4200 block of Bluebell Road here in Studio City. Crews say this cleanup is definitely going to take a very long time, again, because this tree is just so large. But right now, their main priority was just getting the pine tree to the side of the road so that way emergency crews could get in and out, as well as the family. Their driveway is now cleared. But again, the concern is not over, because if you look at this street, there are other pine trees that are actually leaning. And of course, the concern is that these may end up toppling as well, because today the tree that fell is actually the 5th tree to fall on this street within the last few years. So a lot of folks say they plan to complain to the city. They hope that somebody comes out and takes care of all these trees so that this doesn't happen again. Back to you guys.
Unfortunately, Peter, I'm sure it will. The drought caused some instability with those trees there. All right, thank you. Well, good news for many people living near the creek fire burn areas near Sylmar. Mandatory evacuation orders have been lifted for KCAL, Lopez, and Little Tujunga canyons.
However, mandatory evacuations are still in effect for a small area of Latuna Canyon south of the 210. KCAL9's Dave Lopez shows you how things are holding up there.
The people here in Latuna Canyon, KCAL Canyon, and Lopez Canyon all caught a break. Because it stopped raining after 2:30, not a drop, all of the mandatory evacuations have been lifted. There is slight evacuations here in Latuna Canyon, 9400 block on up. But KCAL Canyon and Lopez Canyon clear as a bell. However, earlier in the day, it looked bleak.
I should have left an hour ago.
And so, wearing her makeshift booties, she sloshed through the mud and the water to her car and got out of her Latuna Canyon home.
There's so much we can do.
There's only so much we can do, this man said as he continued to sandbag in front of his home along Latuna Canyon Road. It was just a light rainfall, but already a minor mud flow was created down Latuna Canyon Road, and city work crews were quick to stop it. Latuna Canyon Road, a major thoroughfare that was hit hard by the last heavy downpour in Southern California, will have limited access. Only residents, says the LAPD, from Sunland to the 9400 block. From the 9400 block to the 210 freeway, complete closure. They're not taking any chances. Again, you can get up Latuna Canyon, and it's wide open and clear up to the 9400 block if you're a resident. From there and above to the 210, you can't do it. How long it's going to last, no one knows. But one thing is very clear. The people who run this city, fire department and the police department, were taking no chances whatsoever. Montecito, indeed, has taught everyone a lesson. From Latuna Canyon, Dave Lopez, KCAL9 News.
And it wasn't all about mud concerns today. Take a look at this. We also saw plenty of street flooding. This was Sun Valley earlier.
Well, the weather is constantly changing, but you can easily keep up with our CBS LA weather app. Download it now on Google Play or iTunes.
Well, police tell us they have discovered a 25-minute recording, what they are calling a confession, by Texas serial bombing suspect Mark Condit. Overnight, Condit, we're told, blew himself up as police were closing in. Here's what we know about him. The 23-year-old was homeschooled and from a tight-knit family. Police tracked him down to a Red Roof Inn overnight. He then detonated a bomb inside of his SUV after SWAT officers rammed it alongside Interstate 35. That's just outside of Austin. Security video at a FedEx drop-off shows the suspect wearing a wig and latex gloves. Investigators say even though Condit is dead, the danger isn't over.
We don't know where this suspect has spent his last 24 hours, and therefore we still need to remain vigilant to ensure that no other packages or devices have been left through the community.
Investigators found homemade explosives inside of Condit's house. They evacuated his neighborhood, and Condit is linked to at least 5 explosions that killed 2. They're still trying to figure out a motive for all of the bombings.
President Trump will reportedly appeal a court ruling which clears the way for a former contestant on The Apprentice to sue him. Summer Zervo says Donald Trump groped her in 2007. She is suing him for defamation, claiming he ruined her reputation by calling her a liar. This is our first look at this upcoming 60 Minutes interview with Stormy Daniels. She's the porn star who claims she had an affair with then-citizen Trump years ago. She's now fighting for the right to tell the story you will hear this Sunday on 60 Minutes.
I guess I'm not 100% sure on why you're doing this.
Well, you can hear her answer this Sunday at 7 p.m. in a 60 Minutes exclusive interview on our sister station, CBS 2.
Well, the rain has hit pause for the moment, but we are still on storm watch tonight. Here's more with Evelyn.
And that's absolutely right. Getting a little bit of a break now. And today, not panning out quite like we initially anticipated, but expecting a lot more rain tomorrow, up to 6 inches to be exact. I'll have your forecast when we come back.
The Great Park in Irvine is being proposed as a spot for a new tent city for hundreds of homeless. So what do people think about it? That is up next.
Then police release video of a man fatally shooting a dog inside a fenced South LA yard.
And here's a look at the best of LA and Orange County tonight on KCAL9.com, where we are always on. KCAL9 News at 8 o'clock. We'll be right back.